speaking of writing the book, we've got two experts coming up here next that have written the book or the new book, I guess the new chapters in the UKG annals of how to partner and form alliances with UKG. And we're thrilled to have with us here. Do you prefer Bill or William?
Bill works.
Yeah. Bill works. All right, Bill. And Jerry as well from UKG, who are going to lead this next session. And we're thrilled to learn about your process and what categories are open. Hopefully we'll keep it semi-casual in terms of questions. So if you prefer, you can put your questions in the chat for Zoom here. And I'll try to help interject them as appropriate, or perhaps do you guys plan to have a little time? Well, we have the whole session. What am I saying? The half-hour session after this with the bulk of the questions.
Perfect.
But feel free again, in the audience, as your questions pop up, drop it in the chat box, and we'll make sure that they get picked up in the follow-on Q&A.
Fantastic. And you can interrupt at any time. Bill's used to interruptions because he talks with me frequently. So that'll be good. And why don't we start with introductions, Bill, and then we have a presentation. And as I said, please feel free to jump in at any time.
Sure.
Bill?
Sure. So I'm Bill Taylor. I manage OEM relationships in the Global Alliances team, work with Jerry, and report to Mike May.
Fantastic. I'm Jerry Nepot-Sixt. I work in the Alliances program at UKG. One of my responsibilities is to manage the partner evaluation and onboarding processes. And so new partners that apply to the program, as we're looking at our growth strategies and plans, I'm involved in those conversations with across the business at UKG about kind of the categories of partners we need to bring in, and also evaluating partners that come in from the product, from the executive team and others in our organization. So I'm going to kick off the presentation here, Bill. I'm going to share my screen. We're on Zoom, so the screen isn't somewhere else. So let me know when you can see the screen, folks.
All good.
Yep.
Okay, great. Yep. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
So we can go to the next slide, but we're just going to give you a little bit of an overview of the technology partner program, what it looks like, how it's structured, et cetera. So, it's hard not to start by talking about the merger, right? So I've been around quite a few mergers and acquisitions, although something of this size, the scale is just astonishing. Really what a powerful merger. Two companies that were literally about the same size in terms of revenue coming together, and they had very little customer overlap. So as we start to cross-sell and more customers go full suite, anybody that had a relationship with either the Chronos side or the Ultimate side, now with UKG, you're not only going to have a huge user base to take advantage of, but that's going to be growing and growing and growing on both sides. So anybody that joins the program, they're going to have a big user base, but they're also going to have tailwinds kind of helping them along. So I think that's a pretty powerful story there. I'll tell you the other thing, if we can just go back still, just one other piece of color on the merger. Been through a bunch of these. I think this one's gone extremely well. I think probably our biggest struggle is just integrating our processes and systems. And I already see the light at the end of the tunnel there. But in terms of the two cultures coming together, it's been a really good fit. And we're all very excited about the future. Okay, next slide. This is sort of a standard corporate slide, but, it's important stuff to know. With this merger, we're now a $3 billion in terms of annual revenue company, right? So just a massive entity, although it does tend to feel like a smaller company in certain pockets of the organization, which I think is a positive thing. 50,000, more than 50,000 organizations using our products today, 40 million users using our products. And I can tell you, I just finished doing an analysis of our customer base. That 40 million is very low. So there's just a huge amount of users out there in the world today using UKG products. And we're in more than 100 companies. And I came from the global team on the product management team, as a matter of fact. Did a lot of work in Latin America and China. I can tell you, I saw the investment firsthand. I did a lot of projects in these areas firsthand. We've been making investments over the years, and we're going to continue to make investments throughout the world. Next slide. Yeah, so, people, I get this question all the time from our existing partners when they first join. Is there a vertical or two that you're the strongest in? And I'll be honest, we do have a couple of strong verticals, but more or less predominantly, we do really well in all of them. Our products are very horizontal in nature, although we go to market and position them very uniquely within these verticals. But more than half of the 1,000 top revenue generating companies are using our products today. So that's huge. And to give you an idea, just a couple stats to show you like how well we do across verticals. 8 of the top 10 retailers are using our products, right? A bunch of names come to mind right off the bat there. 6 of the top 10 automotive manufacturers. I did lots of projects for those folks in Europe and in Latin America, so I know them intimately. More than 3,000 hospitals and healthcare facilities are using our products. 9 of the top 10 manufacturing companies are using our products. So I mean, this is staggering. And for any of you thinking about attending Connections and Works, which I am very much looking forward to, 90% of the Las Vegas Strip is using our products. So we have just a huge presence, and we can help you tailor messages and things like that to resonate within those verticals and resonate within our vertical selling teams. Next slide. So to give you a little bit of a feel for what our program looks like, if you had to bucket the types of partners into buckets, this is what it would look like. So in the top left-hand side is our UKG technology partner solutions. These partners are all about extending the capabilities of our products. As you're aware, there's all kinds of functionality and customer requirements that we just would not be able to get to quickly or would not have a vested interest in getting into ourselves. And our technology partners allow us to bring those solutions to bear in very rapid fashion. And they also provide a level of expertise we just don't have in some of those niche areas. So that's what that looks like. On the right-hand side at the top, OEM relationships. Things you might have heard about are things like learning tools. We OEM some in that area, task management and some other things. I'm working on a number of new ones right now. We don't typically do a lot of these. And everybody, when they hear that we have an OEM, somebody looking after that, everybody wants to do it, of course. What I tell people is the best thing that you can do is join the technology partner side, bring a solution to market, spend time getting to know our sales teams, grow a business, and show us how important you are to our business. That's what moves you into the OEM sort of category. And that's more or less how all of them transpire, is we find really successful partners that we want to put a little bit more wood behind the arrow, so to speak. Down the bottom left, you're all familiar with this, but this is sort of a new emerging partner category, the iPaaS sector, whether it's integrating with point of sale systems, which can tend to be closed, proprietary, need very specific knowledge, or whether it's integrating with a variety of ERP systems. We find it's much better. The solutions turn out much better when we can get a local expert that know those solutions, that know the customers better than we do, and are better equipped to build those integrations. So Jerry and I talk about this all the time. There's a bunch of areas that we've been hesitant to kind of kick the tires on ourselves, where this iPaaS category, I think, is going to open up the world in a lot of ways. On the bottom right, we have our global payroll solutions. So while we are a global company, we don't have footprints in every part of the world, and that would enable us to properly service our customers. So we partner with global payroll companies to sort of provide that local support and expertise around regulation and software and customer support for us. Next slide, Jerry. Oh, here we go. So this is a good one. So, it's funny. I was part of the product team when we launched UKG Dimensions, which is our next generation time and attendance product. I'm sure most of you have heard about that. It's the follow-on to Workforce Central. And when we launched that product, the partner team didn't exist at all. So zero. You flash forward to today, we have more than 200 technology partners. Jerry manages that incoming funnel, and I can tell you, there's no shortage of partners that want to come into the program. So this is growing on a regular basis. They're broken up into categories. So we have more than 25 categories today, and always looking to bring new ones on that are important to our customers. The way we've structured the team also is typically we have partner alliance managers that will own a complete category. So that they can build really deep knowledge, really understand the differences between the partners within that program, because the devil's in the details, as you know, many times, and to effectively communicate with our sales teams and effectively put together marketing messages that resonate, you really got to understand each of those categories in the space. So we do divide things up that way. I can tell you that years ago, our sales teams were very opportunistic in bringing up the partner solutions. And I've watched that completely change. I'd say every single day, I have 2 or 3 emails of somebody looking to learn more about a partner or looking for some help on the deal. So it's not just this program that exists, the entire organization is changing the way they think about partnerships. Now to talk to you a little bit about our solutions. So we have other software products that you'll hear about, but this is the primary focus for our company here, okay? So on the UKG Pro side, with that acquisition, we have best-in-class Ben Admin, payroll, HRIS, tax management solutions. Now that's part of our mix, and we're super excited about that. And like I said, we're doing a lot of cross-selling right now. I think we went from like less than 500 customers that were using both products, Dimensions and UltiPro, to like 1,500 already. And that's just going to grow and grow and grow and grow. So the opportunity is going to get just massive for everybody. We have UKG Dimensions. I mentioned this is our next generation. This is where Workforce Central sort of left off, and UKG Dimensions is going to carry us on to the future. This is our flagship time and attendance. And time and attendance, scheduling, absence and leave are the core elements of that product. It's a very strong product. It has feature parity with Workforce Central, which was a 40-year development time. So very powerful there. And one of the big differences with that product, and I remember this intimately because I was right in the middle of it, was everything had to have an open API, everything. And so, of course, when we launched, we missed some things here and there, but now that it's been out for a few years, those gaps are closed. And I'll tell you, whereas some of the other products at the company, sometimes we find that we have an API gap. It's very rare that an API doesn't exist in Dimensions. So our customers love the fact that it's scalable and they can work with that from a development capacity. Those 2 products on the left, they're positioned within our organization and our sales team for companies that are 300 employees and larger, essentially. So a pretty big section of the customer base. UKG Ready is sort of everything's in one single package. So you got payroll, you got HCM, you got time and attendance all in one solution, cloud-based. And that's targeted and positioned for organizations that are 300 employees and lower typically. So the down market. It's not a hard and fast rule. We do sell Ready into larger accounts because there are some cases where functionality differs, but that's the general positioning. Okay, next slide. All right, so what do the teams look like? It's an interesting team, and I'm very excited about the team. I think it works well. We've gone through, a couple reorganizations trying to figure out what works best, and I think we've really found the right mix here. So we've got Mike May's team, which is technology partners, OEMs. That's where Jerry and I spend the majority of our time. We also have a unique group run by Dan Hines. They look after system integrators, service delivery, private equity advisors and brokers. So this is there's a lot of companies that are owned by a particular private equity firm, and getting those deals, it really pays to have a relationship with those private equity firms. And his team sort of is behind the scenes, building those relationships with those different firms. And I'll tell you, it pays off, and there's huge amounts of money and deals that come through that organization. Now, supporting both those groups, there are some new teams. In fact, all three teams are new. So we have a new operations team. So this team can help you, and it helps the PAMs internally as well. So Sue's team will help us run beta programs. We'll work with new partners coming into the program to review specifications and make sure that they're getting the technical resources assigned to them that they need. Track project tracking to make sure that when they start, that there's an end goal and everything in the middle gets met and nothing's missed. They also help us internally in terms of giving us access to the information we need to help partners go to market. So things like segmenting out the customer base, looking at different verticals and who's playing there, how many customers are using certain products that we offer and things of that nature. So they're instrumental in that way. We have a marketing team run by Jenny Lewandowski. She's fantastic. And this is the team that helps our partners build out a cohesive marketing plan. They identify what types of content the partner has today and the best channels to leverage that, whether it's a blog, whether it's pushing things out on Twitter or LinkedIn, or getting in the right newsletters, helping partners tweak their copy to resonate on a particular vertical and sales team. So they've just been instrumental in helping us be much more effective at getting that message out from a marketing perspective. And then we've got a sales engagement team. They're almost sales enablement in many ways, but this is the team that helps everybody navigate our enormous sales organization. So our sales organization is massive. It also changes, it's dynamic. And this team makes sure that our sales team has the information about each partner to effectively bring them up and help them get into different accounts. And then they also help us. If I have a partner and I need to get them a webinar with a customer success team or a ERM team, or maybe it is a new logo sales rep, they can help identify what key players in those teams I should be getting in front of. So there are basically our access to the sales organization.
Great. Hey, thanks for that, Bill. That was really great. Right. So I'm gonna kind of. Oh, sorry, Bill. I interrupted you before you were done.
I figured maybe you had your eye on the clock more than me.
Yeah, we didn't have time for our dress rehearsal this morning.
So that would have been fine. This is the last slide, but you get a lot for your money when a partner comes into the program. When they pay their partner fees, you get access to tenants, all the marketing support and everything like that. You've got partner alliance managers that help build those sales relationships and manage pipeline and track that pipeline. So measuring success and bringing you new business. And then there's a tech team led by Chase. I think he's on the call somewhere here. He's fantastic, and that team's fantastic. I just can't. There's some of the best technical people that I've come across, even product team included. And they help partners understand the APIs, what's available, how to leverage them, how to best shape their design specifications and things like that, and then evaluate partner solutions to make sure that they meet our security standards and everything else before they go to market. Okay.
Great. Now, Bill, I think it's my turn. Sorry about that.
It is your turn.
Great.
Well deserved.
So you can see we built out a very strong organization to support technology partners and the rest of the Alliance program at UKG. And we've done this because we recognize the value of technology partners to us. So it allows us to deliver more. As Bill said, we can't be all things to all people, and partners help extend our solution capabilities to either fill gaps in our solution or to help us penetrate new markets as they add capabilities that a particular vertical needs or that are adjacent workforce management processes that aren't part of the purview of UKG solutions. They also help us deliver faster. I think we've all seen kind of the world of work turn upside down in the last year and a half. It's actually kind of a cliche at this point, but it's a cliche that has a tremendous amount of truth. So people have begun to recognize how they need to have new relationships between employers and employees. We need to be able to, UKG, take advantage of innovations in this space and be able to deliver things like stronger DEI and B capabilities to our clients who have seen that as a value for them and things that are and something that's adding value to their organization and to their employee relationships. It also helps us improve the retention of solutions in our customers, both for UKG and for our partners. As we're integrated in solutions and as these business processes become integrated, it's much more difficult to pull that solution apart and get the same level of value out of it. So this is a value that we see at UKG, but also accrues to our customers and our partners in our mutual accounts. And then we see this as a way to position UKG and our platforms to prove the value of our platforms at the market with a strong partner ecosystem. And to recognize that and to help our partners in this area, we put together a compensation program for our sales team. I'm going to talk about that a little more later. So to provide incentives for UKG sales and so on to promote our partner solutions. And we also see our partners as selling allies. And so Bill talked about the teams there and the field alliance managers who help our sales teams build that ecosystem of partners required for UKG and for our partners to win those opportunities. And we're not alone in this. This really aligns with analyst findings out there. And this is just one example of why we're seeing a lot of validation for this approach and a lot of validation for the investment we're making in this program. Now, our tech partner program really has a couple sides to it. The first is technology partners. And this is for ISVs that want to integrate their solutions directly through the UKG APIs across those various platforms that Bill talked about earlier to enhance and differentiate your capabilities as an ISV or to help us fill those gaps, as I talked about earlier. And so this is really ideal for partners who want to engage with UKG and get the full benefit of all the entitlements of this program, across technology support, go-to-market support, sales strategy support, the kind of thing that Bill talked about there. We're growing. We currently have over 200 partners, as Bill said. We add 3 to 5 technology partners per month. We get a couple hundred applications into the program a quarter. And so we've had to put together processes and an evaluation framework to be able to manage that volume, but also to select the partners and develop the criteria for bringing partners on board. The other area is technology integration partners, and these are for iPaaS and connector partners. They want to embed those UKG APIs in their offering and in their platform to help differentiate themselves in the market. So you come to, so this is ideal for iPaaS firms and for connectors that sell primarily out to ISVs or to other integrator personas. They're really not direct to employer sales typically. But we do have a tier in this program that I'll talk about later that actually is focused on selling out with a marketplace presence and others. So the technology integration partners have an option to kind of stay behind the scenes, as you were wondering about there, Katrina, or to have a full marketplace presence as part of their program entitlements. And then finally, this provides a way for us to deliver enablement and technology enablement for ISVs who can't join the program or can't prioritize a direct integration for some reason at the moment. It gives them the opportunity to engage with UKG clients and with the UKG sales team and have a validated integration delivered by an ISV or by an integration partner. So we see interoperability as critical. And so we've long recognized this at UKG. But while we deliver powerful solutions that meet most of the needs of our clients, we can't be all things to all people. So we understand that it's our clients may require integrated background checks or specialized credentialing solutions for healthcare or transportation. Maybe they need to incorporate the other features in employee assessments or employee engagement and connections within their organization. So UKG recognizes the need of those clients to, they're evolving quickly. We can't always get there. And the best way to serve those needs is to provide and support open integration standards and to build and support an ecosystem of partners that can deliver those sorts of integrations for our clients. So our integration, we see integration as a strong differentiator for UKG. And we've really moved to support an integration ecosystem now that is made up of kind of first-party integrations delivered directly by solutions partners and third-party integrations delivered by this cohort of connector and iPaaS partners. So in this way, we can cover all the use cases that our clients demand and that our partners require to support our mutual customers. So this integration ecosystem delivers connectors to UKG platforms that ISVs can utilize to support UKG in their product and delivery processes and can solve other problems for us. So the integration partner program, just a quick overview, we have different tiers of this program for integration partners, depending on the nature of the desired partnership, right? So do they need technology enablement only? Do they want full go-to-market support through us? So both of these tiers have a lot of technology support underlying them provided by Chase and his team. So you get a sandbox of our platforms, you get the API documentation and all the assets that go along with that, as well as all the technical support during the integration development. And Chase will be on later if you want to have some conversations with him directly. You're on a phone with Chase as a technology partner. By the time you're off the call, you'll have you'll link to our API documentation. You probably may even have a package of Postman in your inbox to be able to begin your integration. So we have a really proactive team that understands our solutions and supports our partners very well. So the marketplace MVP tier for integration partners includes all that full go-to-market partnership, including a partner alliance manager, internal and external marketing, as well as that marketplace presence. So our goal really is to provide the right level of enablement and partnership for integration partners that meet their business requirements. And so we have these two tiers to help support those partners at that level. So integration partners are fantastic for UKG. So they help provide these capabilities to, first of all, they're validated by our partner organization. They've passed all our rigorous technical and security reviews by our technology team. All Kronos technology partners go through a third-party risk assessment from our UKG team. That way we can go to market together and assure our customers that we've vetted our partners across these multiple dimensions. So now, integration partners help us provide capabilities to those vendors who need to, maybe they need to support a small number of joint clients. They may not have the resources to build an integration, or they can't prioritize building the integration and joining the UKG partnership program, but they have clients that they want to support. It helps UKG in that there's many categories of potential partners out there that are broad, that are specialized. Sometimes they're slightly competitive with UKG, but we'd like to be able to work with those categories of partners where we need to. And having integration technology partners that already have relationships with those categories of partners delivers value to us. So think about this in the area of point of sale, in ERP, particularly mid-market ERP, where there's a ton of players there. a lot of them specialized by industry segment and so on, in areas of specialized credentialing and fatigue management. Just in these areas where us maintaining many partners in a particular category can be difficult for our organization. And then they deliver value to our clients when the client's preferred vendor is not part of our program, and it's not going to be part of our program. So they can engage with UKG, they can utilize that preferred vendor out there if they're supported by one of our integration partners. And then finally, we run into a lot of situations where there's a whole complex applet structure, if you will, within an organization that needs to interact with the UKG solutions. I spent 10 years in public sector. The most complex solutions I dealt with were departments of transportation, where they often had a lot of homegrown systems or older systems that did a lot of different functions throughout the organization, but that data was really required for effective workforce management, for instance. And so our integration partners can provide a lot of value to deliver an integrated solution for our clients in that circumstance. So if you're an ISV, there's several options to interact with UKG solutions and engage with our clients. The first is you could build a solution using our published API documentation for individual customers and build directly on their tenants. You have the option to join the technology partner program, build the integration, and enjoy all the entitlements of the program. And then finally, you can take advantage of the integration technology partner program, as I've just discussed. So in terms of using public APIs, you could use your tenants' clients to do the build, and many do have test environments that would be open for that. There's really no program technology support for scoping, design, validation, security, or any of the other entitlements we deliver. The client could provide API access, and they have the instructions to be able to help you in that. But again, there's no UKG marketplace presence, no go-to-market support, or any of the other program entitlements that we discussed before. However, we do see vendors building this, and I see this reflected in our sales force, building in this manner, where they engage with our services team to provide some additional services to help them in their integrations. The other area is to join our technology partner program. So there's kind of two streams of value. One is the technology support that we deliver, and the other is the go-to-market support. And I'm going to get into these in a little more detail now. So we provide support in these three primary areas. From a development perspective, we deliver tenants of all those platforms that Bill talked about earlier. People like Chase and his team provide engineering and architectural support for your integrations, from scoping to guidance through the APIs to validation support and so on. We deliver access to LMS and to other documentation about our platforms. And then we also deliver a fully baked platform for you. So those tenants have essentially what our demo data is when we go to market. So you could use these development platforms also as demo platforms to make sure that you can go to market and demonstrate your capabilities against UKG on a native tenant. From an operations perspective, we deliver our global support community, takes tier 1 calls for our partners. Let me define that. That's we do our part. We make sure the client's tenant is up and the lights are turned on and the APIs are firing in the right way. We don't want to get between you and your customer as a partner. We want to be able to do our part and be able to hand that off so you can work directly with your clients. Conversely, they may call you first, and you may discover that's an issue with our tenant, and you have a mechanism through our support platform then be able to create that trouble ticket for us so that we can address that with you. We have a partner community where we deliver branding guidance, documentation, and collateral that you can utilize to help sell your solution in the marketplace. Then we go through a solution validation step with our partners to make sure the scope that we defined was executed and make sure it's all working as designed. Then finally, we deliver great go-to-market resources. So when you enter the program, you're assigned a partner alliance manager who's kind of your Sherpa through the whole process and will be your relationship manager going forward. You're assigned a marketing lead, a technical lead, and an operations lead on our team to walk you through and make sure that that process is complete. And that you reach the finish line or are able to go live in the marketplace. That marketplace listing is really a powerful statement of your partnership and the fact that you're validated. We have a PR team that's pointed at our program that provides all the press release support. And then, of course, you have access to all of our logos and so on, subject to our branding guidance, which we publish on that partner community that we mentioned earlier. So this is a more full picture of the entitlements here. A couple of things I want to talk about here is we have a very strong social media presence called Social Circle at UKG, where your content can be amplified through UKG's social media programs. So any UKG employee can, with a single click, post your content to LinkedIn, to sales, to Twitter, and even to Facebook, although I never see people do that. But if you go out there and look at our LinkedIn profiles, you can see that we're pretty active doing that with our partners and so on. You're eligible for all of our customer events. Bill talked about Works and Connections coming up in Vegas here in the fall. We hope. We're all crossing our fingers around the health situation in the country, as well as sales events. We have a reseller partner network for UKG Ready. And so we give you the opportunity to participate in these events. And then finally, we have some other entitlements as well. The one thing I want to call out here, as I mentioned earlier, we do have a compensation program that we put together to incentivize our sales teams. And this is at the salesperson level, to receive compensation for a successful referral of an opportunity to a partner. This is a process I work through every day. This is how we bring partners into the program. So if you're on the call and are interested in joining the program, this is the URL there. You could find that partner form out on our website to join the program. So I manage this intake process. And one thing I want to point out is when we go through internal evaluation, I look at the partner application, I visit their website. I do this with a team of people within UKG, including the product teams, including our sales teams, including specialists in the area where the partner is bringing value to us. And this initial evaluation is really quite critical for us, that we can identify those partners that are going to bring the most value to us. So we want them in categories that we need, in particular industries where we have a focus or want to have a focus, that are able to build the integration and have sufficient size and horsepower to match up to UKG as we go forward. So we go through. The other thing we don't want to do, we don't want to bring partners on that are going to be just overtaken by our own product roadmap in short order. So we want to be careful and make sure that our partners get value out of the program. And if we have something on our roadmap that's going to overtake what a proposed partner brings to the table, we'll advise that partner of where we're headed and kind of where their opportunity lies. That's not a knockout punch. Because we're always looking for innovation in particular categories. So, but we do that internal evaluation. We have a checklist that we go through to make sure that we're following that process. We have an initial call. If we go on from there, we have a technical call with a partner if we're going to go through, and Chase and a member of his teams joins that. And then finally, when we go to contract, we do the contract and security review together. So you get a boilerplate contract, we work through the red lines and so on for that. And we also initiate a security review by that third-party risk organization. We don't sign off, countersign contracts till we have that security review complete. Again, we consider it very important that we work together and be able to project some assurity into the marketplace about the quality and the security of our partner relationships. And then you get introduced that whole army of people that I described earlier to begin the onboarding, the integration build, and the go-to-market strategy process. So I'm going to stop there for just a second to see if anyone has any questions about this. So that was an option to join the technology partner program. And if you're an ISV, you could also work with a UKG integration partner. So you can engage the Cloud Connectors or any of our other iPaaS partners to develop a connector to UKG. Now you could still join the partner program and enjoy all those other entitlements of the program and all the go-to-market support and have your own demonstration and development tenants and so on. And your connector then can appear. Your connector can also appear in the marketplace under the integration partner brand or under your own brand if you join the program. So working with an integration, UKG integration partner is a great way, as I said earlier, if an ISV is unable to join the program or can't prioritize the integration build or already has an existing relationship with one of our integration partners, this is a great way to engage with UKG.
I have a question, Jerry.
Yeah, sure, Katrina.
Is integration required to become for like an assessment company or POS, for example, is integration required to become a marketplace partner?
Yes, that is correct. Yeah, so our marketplace is really our assertion to the broader market that the partners that we represent in the marketplace do have an integration that's been validated by our team.
Okay, and if the do you know what is a general timeline if there is a partner that is in a category that is open?
Yeah,
like assessments or fatigue awareness.
Yeah.
Do you have like an average timeline that it takes from someone deciding they want to become a UKG partner and getting the job done? Is there an average timeline? Is it 5 years? Is it 5 weeks? Is it 5 months?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the long pole of that tent always is the ability of our partner to deliver that integration and work through that process. However, our process can take 3 to 5 months just on its own with the integration build and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to think about it in those terms. It can take longer, it can take shorter. The evaluation process usually is a couple months. That contract and security requirement phase is at least 30 days because of the security review that we go to and the thoroughness there. So just kind of understand that usually it's 6 weeks to 2 months in the eval phase there, and then 5-6 months on the build phase.
Right, and it could be a lot faster if you're working with an iPaaS partner. So
yeah,
that's it. Okay, so what I was thinking is if we start when you start, we could be done before you with the integration. So
yeah,
the integration wouldn't slow it down at all.
Yeah,
okay.
In fact, we have partners that are already associated with some of our iPaaS and integration partners. They already have that. They've already built integration, and they have a UKG connector. They can come into the program and basically through the technical build, they just have to go through the go-to-market phase.
Okay.
So, Word, I popped up. You popped up there? Are you giving us a time? A time?
No, you got 15 minutes before the Q&A, but we've kind of seems like we're migrating into that a little bit, which is totally cool. I did have a question that kind of popped up on the security review. I mean, is there such a thing as a kind of a stamp of approval that somebody could present to you earlier in the phase that says, hey, we've already gone through a security review with, let's say, another vendor or a third party, thing that would help kind of alleviate that concern that what if we get this, all the way through the process and then we're not able to pass the security review? Yeah,
that's great. And in general, the thing that we've really enjoyed is that our partners that come to the table, they're professional. They have security foremost in mind, and so we have not experienced. I don't know how many rejections we've had, Chase, on security reviews, but I don't think we've had any. We've been very fortunate in that regard. So, But the answer to that is yes and no, Ward. So we do a formal review with our third-party risk assessment team. The work that you've done for other reviews, the documentation that you've gathered, your experience in managing these sorts of surveys that are done in that context will certainly make that process go faster. So what we end up with is about 10 business days from the time that you complete the online survey and any subsequent data request, we turn around that certification from our team.
Right. So showing the SOC 2 certification, you still want to do your own.
Right.
So everyone wants their own survey. There's no way around it. But having a survey that you did already helps you, at least you can look back and that go, hey,
Yeah,
this is the answer. So yeah, it's helpful.
And Chase, go ahead, Bill.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, part of that battle is just providing the information.
Right.
So if you've already been through one, typically you're going to have that information.
Right.
It's not going to replace that process, but certainly you'll be much better equipped to kind of
right.
And that's
it's nothing to be afraid of.
For sure.
Right.
And they will ask in some cases for documentation like that.
Mm-hmm.
They want to know like privacy policy, retention policy for GDPR and whatnot. And they do a background check, just general search the internet and whatnot on the various partners we bring in. And they found some pretty interesting stuff in the past. So it's a great selling point to our customers as well to kind of say that we vet out our partners so that if you see a partners in our marketplace, you can trust them essentially.
Okay. Yeah. I have a question about fees. Is there a standardized fee that you charge the partners for being a partner? Is it like a flat rate? Are there silver, gold, platinum, and diamond levels, or do you charge? What percentage do you charge? Because I know you're paying your reps. Where does that money come from?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And so we do have a flat fee for our programs, okay, and and then we also charge a rev share on qualified deals. Qualified deals are clean new opportunities that a UKG referral delivers to our partners. And so that's a 15% rev share for that. And it's only on the ARR. We base that spiff on the partnership, the partner's ARR in the program. And so that spiff is tiered according to what that rev share would be. So we use that to fund the program. You can see we're growing it to provide a lot of support, but we also utilize those fees to fund that compensation program. You can imagine our chief revenue officer doesn't want to pay a sales team to sell other people's stuff. So we had to develop a compensation program to provide that incentive internally in our program. And so we're very grateful that we have that, and our partners really find great value in that because it does, salespeople are coin operated. This helps that area out quite a bit.
And so do you have a process by which they refer, like an automated system that sends it into a referral platform? Like, do they put in their client's information and it sends it to us and says, hey, this person needs a blah, 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 blah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Assessment.
So our partners can engage directly through our Salesforce platform for leads and for sales assist. So our customers, our sales team, our services team can actually provide referrals and leads directly through Salesforce that go to our partners. And we track those leads as they go through. We make sure that they've been received, acted on, and responded to. It's a big part of what we do as partner alliance managers. And believe me, our operations team under Sue Mindell makes sure that we do our job in that regard. It's really critical for us to have that value for our partners of those leads. Leads also come directly from the marketplace. There's I don't know what color it is, but I always describe it as a big red shiny contact us button or learn more button. You click that and you get a lead directly into your inbox as well from that. And then that lead is also incorporated into your Salesforce record.
Okay, I have another question.
Go ahead, Katrina. This is what we're about.
Just hogging the room. So I used to do a lot of, I used to help the salespeople close a lot of their big deals.
Yeah.
And so I would do a lot of the referrals were for prospects, not clients. And are you going to be doing that too? I mean, that, because basically I help them close business, because the first question out of anybody's mouth is, can UKG, integrate with my XYZ, whatever it is they're fallen in love with and can't let go.
Yeah.
my specialized assessment or my specialized background check company that I use for whatever. So,
yeah, perfect. That's a great question. So,
okay.
if you're asking whether, so for, as Bill was talking about our sales team earlier, we kind of have a little bit of a divide and conquer strategy in our sales team, where we have some of it focused specifically on new opportunities, that kind of new greenfield opportunities for UKG. And so definitely we get referrals to our partners through there. But the other area is through, we have customer-based teams, and we also, by the way, compensate our customer success team for referrals to partner solutions. So as they're working on an ongoing basis with our clients, then if they hear a need, they often reach out to our team to say, the biggest question in my inbox, Bill was talking about his inbox, but the biggest question in my inbox is phrased like this: Jerry, do you have a partner who does X? All right. And so sometimes we're the first stop for those queries, and we can deliver those partner referrals through that mechanism and connect them directly with our partners. Did that answer your question, Katrina? I feel like I may have missed a little bit of it. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good.
Do you have more slides to cover in this segment before we formally move into the Q&A section?
Yeah,
or?
just a couple here. Thanks.
Good. Yeah, please carry on.
So we talked about some of the criteria earlier by which we evaluate our partners and so on. And we've kind of closed some categories. And I say closed, it's because, and you can see I have this in quotes, because they're not really closed. So we consider these closed, but we don't want to throw out the baby with the bathwater. So we typically invest in evaluating partners, even in these categories to a degree, because we're looking for areas of innovation where they might help us in specific industries and so on. So there's a couple of these areas that we've sort of closed. In income verification, we have a couple big partners there that really provide the bulk of this for us. In social collaboration, we have several great partners that help us in this place. In financial wellness and earned wage access, again, we have a plethora of partners there, and that's a really saturated market. Learning management, we sell our own learning management system, and we also partner with big players like Cornerstone, Relias, Exonify, Brainier, and others in the marketplace. And then in terms of employee assessments, I call this kind of a closed category, but there's been a lot of activity in the last year in this DEI and B space around employee assessments and wringing out bias from these assessments, being able to provide additional capabilities to understand how employees will fit into the cultural landscape that an organization has or is trying to build internally. So we're looking at anyone who comes into our evaluation process in these categories, but we're really looking at this point for disruptive capabilities or requirements that are growing out from our product team or our corporate vision team. We have other partner categories where we're kind of open for business quite a bit. So ATS, recruiting, onboarding, some of the assessments, as I just discussed, some job boards and so on, where it makes sense, where we have players in the market, we're looking for those kind of categories. In the workforce management space, fatigue is a big area, which is pretty differentiated by industry. We see it differentiated for mining, for standard manufacturing, for automotive, for energy, particularly in pipeline operations and nuclear energy and so on. Looking for partners in the specialized pay category, ones that help us manage different incentive pay calculations that require a lot of different inputs from throughout the organization, as well as things like looking at certified payroll and other specialized pay categories like that. Data collection is an area where there are new forms of data collection out there. So we have a lot of partners in telephony and other areas, but we're always looking for new partners in that arena. And then in specialized scheduling solutions. So things like event scheduling or task scheduling for field workers or areas in workforce management like asset management that spins off a lot of work orders and a lot of employee assignments that need to be scheduled, tracked, and then turned into monetized labor for labor reporting and for financial reporting, pre-employment assessments, some compensation planning, ERP, ERM, and other enterprise solutions, rewards and recognition, employee engagement and connections, gig economy and contingent labor, working with partners in this area who do a lot of work around understanding the marketplace for contingent labor, to be able to bring contingent labor on the shift basis in areas like healthcare and manufacturing and integrate that right into our scheduling and workforce management solutions. And then, of course, a big area that's popped up in the last year is risk management and safety, where we need to understand not just events or incidents that happen, but what's going on in the world, what's going on in the neighborhood, what's going on down the block from our facility that impacts the safety and the risk that is presented to our employees or also to our business continuity. So how does that play into this world for us? So those are some great partner categories that we're working in and looking for solutions in these categories. So finally, I just want to wrap up here. Thank you, Ward, for your patience. We're right at the top. We're right at the top of the hour.
Timing.
This is remarkable. So to learn more, you could go to marketplace.ukg.com. I hope you visited there already and look at our partners and look at the kind of categories of partnerships we have. You can search through there. The other thing that we notice in the partnership arena now is that being able to penetrate different geographies around the world with specific partnerships has become much more important. We're a global company, and again, there's specific solutions in these other geographies that are really great match for UKG that we'd love to learn about and love to incorporate into our marketplace. So that's my presentation today, or our presentation today. Sorry, Bill.
I disrupted you just the perfect amount.
You did. Thank you, Katrina.
Yeah, that was very good. Well,
Pace car. Let me give me a second here. I want to stop the recording. Well done, guys. Really, really super interesting, packed with information. And,
yeah, thank you, Ward. We haven't done this yet, but do you want a copy of this presentation? Are you going to publish that?